Welcome back into our Top Buffs countdown. Tyler, a little bit better weather and visibility here today for this video shoot. We're going to jump right into it here at number 27 is Evan White. Kind of looking in hindsight, maybe I had him ranked a little bit too low on my list, but you and the fans, Tyler, had him ranked pretty high. My question mark was, is Jared Bell coming back from injury going to unseat him from a starting position? We talk a lot about Shane Callahan and Jonathan Huckins in the right guard role. This is another intriguing position battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one that in years past we've seen the depth is going to be necessary in order to make it through the season. It seems like we've been playing walk-ons at safety the last few years at the end of the year. So Evan White's certainly a luxury at this point. Whether or not he surpasses Jared Bell and starts is a story that we'll find out in fall camp more than we really know anything right now. To me, though, at the very least, he's going to help us on special teams. He was a guy, even as a true freshman, he helped us on special teams, and that's not going to change at all. He's going to get minutes regardless of whether or not he's starting in the secondary at some point throughout the year. Especially, Jared Bell, he may end up starting, but you never know if he's going to be able to make through the whole year. He's had a couple of pretty severe knee injuries, so I would expect Evan White to have a pretty dramatic impact on this defense this year.
I think safety is one of the toughest positions for a true freshman to come in and play. I would say that, by and large, Evan White did pretty well in that role, given kind of the situation he was thrown into last year. You imagine if it's Evan White, Tedrick Thompson, Chidobe Awuzie in the nickelback role, Keller Witherspoon, and Kenneth Crawley. That's going to really look like a Pac-12 secondary. And physically, they haven't had that look out there like that in quite a while.
No, yeah, definitely. And if Coach Mack did this Buffs countdown, I think he might have Evan White number one based on some things he said in the media. So it'll be interesting to see how he does this year. He's definitely played well as a true freshman last year.
At number 6 is Keller Witherspoon. I mentioned him briefly there. Somebody that came in and showed tremendous ball skills during his first spring ball with the Buffs. Seemed a little bit apprehensive at times when he was thrown in certain situations last year. Kind of almost like we saw with Kenneth Crawley when he was a little unsure of his technique and kind of played off guys a little bit more. Now that he's got that seasoning, do you expect him to replace Greg Henderson as a starting cornerback on this football team?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think the staff expects him to. I think you said it perfectly in that he was a little bit tentative last year in the secondary. Some games he looked really good. Other games he looked like he wasn't quite sure what he was supposed to be doing out there. I kind of went back and forth at the corner and the nickel, trying to find a spot for him. I think this year, though, he's a little bit more seasoned in the program. He's going to be a little bit more ready to go, and he's looked good so far in camp. So he's a guy that I expect to definitely make an impact on the team.
And it's important, too. He gained about 10 pounds, still very skinny on his frame, but those 10 pounds are going to be key for him from a durability standpoint. The one concern I had with him when he came in was that frame, and can he help in ground support? Can he help in the run game, stopping the run game? I think he's a little bit better suited to do that this year, maybe still not a strength of his. Right. But you talk about his ball skills. That's one thing they need this year, obviously. We've talked about it ad nauseum, creating turnovers. He's a guy, I think, that can help them in that area, and as soon as he loses that tentativeness like we talked about. At number 25 is a guy that has a really bright future, I think, here. The question is just, is he going to be more situational, or is he going to be on the field a lot? And that's Donovan Lee, somebody that was in that situational role last year. It's like when he was on the field, you almost kind of knew he was going to get the ball, and of course opposing defenses seemed to kind of catch on to that a little bit, but still made some plays as a true freshman. Undersized guy, as Mike McIntyre said, kind of an ultimate scat back.
Yeah, he's definitely a dynamic player. He's somebody that you can put in a lot of different positions on the field. There's a lot of opportunities for him to make plays out in open space. So he's one of those luxuries you have on a football team that even if there's depth issues at one position or another, he can come in and make plays for you. To me, he's a guy that they have to find ways to get the ball to because he's very capable of making plays.
Do you expect to see more Donovan Lee or Jay McIntyre in the slot role? I was kind of thinking about that on the drive up here. Jay's got kind of the prototypical slot skills, whereas Donovan Lee has more of the versatility in his back pocket.
Yeah, I would say, I guess in the traditional sense, you'll see more of Jay McIntyre in that slot role, and that he's going to be the guy that you look for on third downs, third and shorts, maybe quick outs, that kind of thing. I think you'll see Donovan Lee kind of all over the field a little bit more, whether it be in that slot position or outside or even sometimes in the backfield. He's a guy that you're going to see lined up in a lot of different areas to try to create mismatches on opposing defenses.
Well, that's it for this group. Check in next time. We'll be cracking the top 25.